Hey everybody, Jason here from the second part of my video for my favorite YouTube channels. I've got 4 more channels I wanted to talk about on the way home today from work. Kevin over at Dungeon Musings, Anthony at Runeslinger, his website, or I'm sorry, our YouTube site, the RPG Crawler, and Brendish Gilhelm over at Runehammer Games. Those are the last 4 on my must-watch list. Now, Dungeon Musings YouTube channel is usually, the videos are usually pretty long, which I like. I shouldn't say I like. I like long videos and I like short videos. I guess it just depends on the quality of the video. But his videos are always really good. He does a lot of actual plays, which are fantastic. I love his actual play videos. He does a lot of reviews and stuff like that. I want to say that it's mostly actual plays. I could be wrong. I watch so much stuff throughout the week, or listen to so much stuff throughout the week. But his stuff is really cool because it's organized real well, and he'll make playlists for all the games that him and his groups play, and they play for 3 or 4 hours in a stretch. Lots of character creation. Like a lot of times, for like say a 4-hour video, the first hour of it is character creation and game background and setting, and his reviews are real good and very, very in-depth and very, very well made. It's a great channel. It's a really, really good channel. I think his name is Kevin Madison. Good dude. He seems like a good dude. So I recommend checking out Dungeon Musings if you don't already do it. If you already check it out, I would not be surprised. Runeslinger is another channel that I recommend highly. Anthony, I want to say his name is Anthony. Sorry, I'm looking at traffic. Really, 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 really good channel, especially for 2 things. Well, 3 things, really. Lots of unboxings, which are really fun to do. Anybody who's watched my channel for any length of time knows that I love unboxings also. But he does lots of unboxings, and because he backs, I think, a lot of Kickstarters and stuff too, which is really cool. It gets a lot of really, unique things and a lot of cool stuff. Not sure what the Spectrum truck is doing. Anyway, so lots of, not a lot of actual plays. There are some actual plays, but lots and lots of introspection and reflections and thoughts on games and game systems, and actually a really, really great source of information for the Fantasy Flight Games Star Wars system. 1, a number of actual plays, but 2, a lot of detailed and in-depth looks at how the game functions, how the dice work, how the force works. Just a lot of really, really good mechanical information for Star Wars Fantasy Flight Games. It's really, really good stuff. But also lots of reviews too. Like I believe he did a Wraith 20th anniversary edition from White Wolf. A really good introspective, a really good in-depth review of that re-released book. And all of his reviews are real good. I think he plays a lot of different games, and he's just really knowledgeable. His site, all his videos are very, very, he's a very well-spoken guy. He's got a nice, clear, his voice, he's got a great voice for the type of videos and stuff that we create in this community. And he's got a lot of really good insight into a lot of things to games. Not just mechanically, he does a lot of mechanical stuff too, which is really fantastic because I like mechanics of games and stuff also, but really good stuff. So there's that. The RPG crawler. I'm not sure what his name is because I don't think he's ever announced on the channel what his name is, like in an intro or anything like that. I could be wrong. But he has a lot of things that are good as far as like actual plays. He actually does a lot of actual plays for role-playing video games and stuff too, which I find intriguing. I don't watch a lot of them because of the nature of my job, you know, I can listen to the videos, but to watch them is something I can't really do because I get busy and stuff. And video games are obviously very visual. So to watch those or listen to those is a little jarring for me because I can kind of hear what's going on, but I don't know what's going on because I can't see it. But he also has a number of, one thing he does every week, which I absolutely love, is RPG Crawler will do like a, what does he call it? I can't remember what he calls it. It's kind of like a weekly update or a weekly, I don't know. It's like a preview of things coming out. So he'll preview a lot of upcoming games, video games on Steam and for the PC and some console stuff, and hard copy games of role-playing games and lots of digital files like on Drive-Thru-RPG and lots of Kickstarters. So he has a broad range of things that he covers on this weekly episode that he does that just runs the whole, you know, gauntlet of video games, tabletop RPGs, and Kickstarter stuff, Steam stuff, things like that. So he just got a lot of really good information, and he's got, and also below his videos in the little link thingy down below, he puts links to everything that he reviews or touches upon, whether it's linked to the site for Steam to buy a game, or Drive-Thru-RPG to buy a game, or the Kickstarter link, so you can go and check out what the Kickstarter is. If you want to back it, you can back it there. He does his homework, man. This guy's good. He does a lot of good stuff. He does a lot of good stuff. So there's that. And the last person I wanted to talk about was Brandish Gilhelm over at Runehammer Games. It used to be Drunkens and Dragons, but has since kind of rebranded into Runehammer Games. And Runehammer Games is also the name of his company that he sells some of his stuff through. He's written a couple of books and a couple of novels, and he's written a couple of RPGs. First and foremost being ICRPG, Index Card RPG, which I cannot recommend highly enough. The first iteration of the game, the first edition of the game, I believe was, I could be wrong because I never played it, but I think from what videos I've seen was fairly reliant on index cards to make your, shaky camera, sorry, this road sucks every day, to make your maps for your dungeons you're playing in, which is actually really clever. It's really clever because it's so cheap, it's easy to do, very easy to port, and you can mix and match the cards to make different dungeons every time. It's a really smart idea. But he has since revised and re-released Index Card RPG into, sorry, look like some military people are out there practicing something. Index Card RPG, or ICRPG, 2nd edition. And that's the version that I bought, that I have. And I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's, if you're looking for a game that is fast, but still has all the tropes and mechanics of the game that we're used to playing, you know, Dungeons and Dragons. It's got the 6 stats, you know, AC, hit points, you know, things like that. It's got those things, only slimmed down, stripped down, super greased up so they fly. The mechanics of the game are fast. You don't level up. The basics of the game are you do not level up. You don't have stats like, say, a 13 in dexterity, you know, an 8 in wisdom, whatever. It just uses the bonuses, which is fine. And your hit points are based in hearts, which took me a minute to wrap my brain around that. It seemed a little, on the surface, video gamey, which I don't care for. But if you just watch the guy's videos and understand what he's doing here, a heart is just a fancy way of saying 10 hit points. That's literally all it is. So don't be thrown off by the fact that it sounds video gamey, which it was inspired. He tells you straight up it was inspired by Legend of Zelda. A lot of stuff was. But so heart is 10 hit points, just to keep things simple, and you'll know why once you're reading this. And now I'm turning this video into an advertisement for his ICRPG game. But you know, all the dice of damage you do, or effort as it's called in the game, is damage. It's called effort, and you'll know why once you read the game. Uses all the different dice, you know, D6, D8, D10, D12. But so again, you don't level up. How everything in your character changes or is modified is done with equipment, which is very, very unique for tabletop role-playing. Usually that's something that you find more of like in a board game or a role-playing game. And again, it sounds a little video gamey, which is not something I'm too fond of when it comes to my tabletop games. But with this, man, it works. It works, and it works very well, and it's very smooth, and it's very innovative. I'm gonna pull over here. Oh, guess not. Yeah, there's a medic up in front of us that just turned. But it works well. Go check out ICRPG. There's a quick start on Drive-Thru RPG, and it's phenomenal. And he's released a bunch of source books for it. I believe his novels are actually set in the fantasy world that he created for ICRPG. There's a cool little tie-in there. But going back to his YouTube channel after I've plugged his game for a while now, which I don't mind doing because it's fantastic. He has done a lot of reflection and introspection on game mechanics and how to make your games flow faster and to keep your group and your players more interested, you know, so there's no, like, you know, playing with your cell phones at the video or at the game table and you know, not paying attention to what you're doing, paying more attention to what's on the TV, or getting up and getting snacks, or lots of chatter amongst the table. He focuses a lot on things to make your group stay interested in the game due to the flow of the game, not always necessarily what the game is about, which he does do that too, but tips and tricks on how to keep your characters motivated and interested in the game and the mechanics. He has a lot of actual plays on there. Even him himself is involved in other channels' actual plays for a lot of stuff too, which is fantastic. And the dude is just a personality. You know, he used to do a lot of terrain creation, like 3D model terrain for the games, which is not something I'm really into very much. But if you're into that, he's got a wealth of it on there. Lots and lots of stuff on creating terrain and things like that. But again, the way his mind works when it comes to mechanics and ease and speed of gameplay, it's unreal. Great channel. Like I said, those were the bottom four of my list that I had written down of YouTube channels to check out. And, you know, again, for anybody who's maybe didn't see the first part or had watched it and forgot about the first part or something, I'll list off those other people, the other channels again real quick. We've got, you know, Runehammer Games or Drunkens and Dragons. You can, you know, search for either one of them, it'll pull them up. Runeslinger, Dungeon Musings, RPG Crawler, Questing Beast, Ivan Mike 1968, Bloat Games, or Eric Bloat over at Bloat Games, Questwise, and Sorry, I did the other video this morning. I'm tired. Dark Age of Jason over at Dark Age of Roleplay. I don't think that'll pull it up anymore. You probably have to just type in Jason G or Dark Age of Jason. We'll probably pull it up. If you go to any of those other sites, like Ivan Mike's website, or YouTube site, or Eric Bloat, and a couple of those other guys are probably already subscribed to his channel, so you can probably go to their subscribed channels and find it through that if you can't find it there. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, November Sun, and find it through my subscribed channels there, or something like that. But yeah, those are my top 8 or 9 sites. I don't remember how many I've listed there, but those are my favorites, and I don't see those dropping off or changing anytime soon. Some of the, people have, just like me, more and more infrequent uploads and stuff, but when you're busy, especially Eric over at Blow Games, this guy's so busy releasing quality content for his games and his game systems over at Blow Games. He doesn't have a lot of time to do videos as much anymore, but that's for a good reason, because his games are top notch. And I think the same thing is going on with Runehammer. Ever since he transitioned into Runehammer instead of Drunkens and Dragons, I think that's why the transition happened. One, because the business was taken off and his games were taken off, and the supplements and ICRPG. And good for those guys, man. There's a lot of good stuff. And like I said, check some of those guys out. You won't regret it. And it gets you through your work week, gets you through your night, gets you through your day, whatever you might be going through. If you're having a crummy day, or you're bummed out about something, go check out some of these guys, man. Listen to their passion and their love for the hobby, and it'll bring you out of your funk. It'll help light up a little bit of spark in you to get involved in role playing, or to go be creative about role playing, or even anything, creative for anything. So again, just go check those guys out. If you have already checked them out, thanks for watching and supporting their channels and stuff. And make sure you like their videos and share them and things like that, because it helps other people find them easier too. So that's good stuff. But I'm almost home, and I have rambled on for almost 40 minutes now about different YouTube channels and stuff. So I'm gonna get off here and go pick up my daughter from daycare and have some fun with her. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and hopefully I will have another video for you guys soon. See ya.